What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of GeekCypha here on Free X Agents Media, and also available on GeekCypha.com and Twitch.tv. We're available everywhere. How are you, crazy kids,
Everywhere.
feeling?
We're all over the place.
We are.
Ooh, macho madness. Don't know where we're coming from.
Funny enough, let's start it off with the wrestling because
Oh.
you're already in character. We got some wrestling news sent to us by the one and only Ness, our co-host. Is keeping her ear to the ground on the wrestling stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Cody Rhodes says, probably my last contract with the WWE or the next contract I sign will be my last, implying that he is looking to retirement. I actually listened to the clip and how he explains it. I'll try and maybe I can actually play the clip. Let me see if I can play the clip.
Okay.
Because I thought what he said was pretty nice. He was trying to explain.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah, so you already listened to the clip too?
I didn't listen to the clip, but
okay.
His family's been in the game for since his dad, right?
Right.
And so then his brother Dustin is Gold Dust, and he's still wrestling in AEW and everything like that.
Right.
And he got to wrestle his brother and everything, and he was in WWF before, and then he became Stardust and was wrestling with his brother, his older brother Dustin, and everything. And he just really dislikes that gimmick, and he knew he could do more, and he ended up leaving, being in the indie scene for a good while, like really honing his craft and everything, and then starting up AEW, basically being one of the founding members of that. And that's like, and he did that, and then he came back to WWE to kind of, his kind of him and his family have been a dynasty there, basically.
Right.
His father, Dusty Rhodes, basically like mentoring a lot of people coming in and stuff like that. Kevin Owens mentioned him, his dad mentoring him and stuff, and just giving him some like good talks and stuff like that, and some perspective and everything. So I mean, like, their family has been a part of wrestling. Like, they call some of the older guys uncle. Isn't that Uncle so and so? So like
they grew up kind of like The Rock and the Rock TV show, right?
Exactly. So it's just that kind of deepness in it. And when he finally won the championship, and his mom was there, and everyone's crying, and he finished the story, like that's a momentous thing to do, and he's given his body to his craft. So I mean, whatever he decides to do as his next journey, I hope they keep him on as either some part of the business. I don't know if it's talent relations. I don't know if it's booking. I don't know like what in particular, but I mean, wherever he goes in wrestling, I think I would assume he's more than welcome. But I don't know all the backstage politics and stuff.
Based on everything you've said, based on everything I've heard about him, it sounds like it would be a loss if you didn't try and keep him around, just because his like wrestling acumen, he just has so much knowledge about wrestling. It's like when you have people who play basketball and you want to get them into afterwards to be coaches because they just understand their IQ, their sports IQ related to that sport is so good. It's just a waste if their body. And in his case, it sounds like he's more doing this because he wants to just make sure his body is in good condition for longer. Actually, let me play the clip because he
go ahead. If you got the clip, go.
The clip. Yeah. So I'm gonna put it up on the screen here, and then we'll play the clip.
So much you can only go so long, and I think I know my number, where I'd like to get with this, and I was lucky that my dad, who I thought was the best dad ever, he was out of the game. He was in it as a producer and in it as a creator, pop in here as kind of an old man wrestler every now and then, but he was out of the game. So he was number one dad at every game. He coached our football team. He's known in Cobb County as coach more than the American dream. Like that's what he was. I'd like to make it by the time they hit that age that I'm not gone that often, or I can't really walk around that much.
Important.
And that's, we're getting closer. What I'd say is probably my last contract with WWE, or the next contract I sign, probably be my last, and finish my days with WWE. It's the house that built me, and it's the house that brought me back and put me in this wonderful position. But yeah, I don't know. It's very, very.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of other athletes and stuff that
Yeah.
retire and they have kids and they want to they want to be able to lift their kids. I remember been a
Right.
few football players is like, I have to stop playing because I won't be able to lift my kids if I keep doing this.
That's crazy. I
But
didn't even realize that one, but
but
yeah.
but I think that's also cool that he has that perspective of my dad was around. My dad kind of stopped wrestling
Right.
and he was around for me. And I think that's a generational thing. I think a lot of us, I guess a lot of Gen Xers and millennials and possibly onwards realize that that is a very tangible thing when you're a kid, that you can look out to the crowd and you can see your parents there for whatever crazy endeavor you're doing, quote unquote crazy endeavor you're doing, whether it's a play. I'm just a tree in the play, but I see my parents, they came out, they're so proud of me being this tree just standing here, and I'm gonna be the best damn tree I'm gonna be. But like that's, I think that's very important. And you don't ever know about those things until your kids are older
Yeah.
and they have friends and they see their friends that don't have their parents that show up and they say that they're too busy and they're too and that, like, that, that's a big thing. So I think that's super important and good on him. And I know his daughter's what, 5 now, 6 something. I know she's old enough to go to Disney World, because I remember she was giving Kevin Owens the side eye in the family picture. This was like after Cody had won and everything,
That's
and
so funny.
she's giving him the side eye, and everyone's like, man. And when Kevin Owens is your friend in the show,
Right.
in the ring, he's going to turn at you at some point. So everyone's like, she knows what's up. She knows Kevin's going to turn on him just now. Like, watch, she's telling it. She's telling us. It's just a family picture and he's in it and she's just like,
That's funny. In other news, we got more news here on the list. Robert Kirkman's Energon Universe is getting an adult animated series like Invincible. They still have not sold the show yet to a network, so we're still waiting to see who might pick it up.
Hercules, Hercules, more Transformers, Hercules.
Yeah. I mean, I know at one point, Jaws, we had talked about the fact you had said if people don't go see Transformers 1, they're not going to continue making Transformer content.
Well, more
And
so animated movies. More
right.
that part, like, I think they'll still do shows because it's not as, hey, we're gonna put in this amount of effort and money and time and
I mean,
budget.
I don't get me wrong, I 100%
Mhm.
understand the difference between a film and how much you make back on a film versus a TV series. I get it. I am still of the mind, though, that as much as films are great, I think a television show can do a lot more for an IP in
Mhm.
regards to keeping it in the zeitgeist and the people's like minds longer.
Mhm.
And doing something like this, Joe Henderson would be the showrunner. That's him on the screen. Uh, and like just the Energon universe, which isn't just Transformers, but also G.I. Joe, all of that getting kind of the Invincible treatment, which I feel hopefully producing a little faster than Invincible. That would be my only thing, because Invincible did take a little bit of time between some of their seasons. But
Mm.
other than that, I think it could be really, really cool for them to have that opportunity and to like just be on the screen
Yeah.
and introduce a new like, obviously they say it's going to be adult focused, so they're going to be able to swear and stuff like that.
Mhm.
The idea that
Or blood.
Transformers, yeah, blood and swearing, that version of the Transformers, or more so in my head, GI Joe, because GI Joe having soldiers shooting each other with laser guns that go
Yeah,
and
and everyone's missing constantly.
everyone's missing and no one bleeds always seemed like such a crazy thing to me as I got older. But obviously you didn't want to show kids like war, like actual war. But now if you can do a version of the GI Joe kind of Invincible, where there's blood, there's gore, there's pain, there's people dealing with serious stuff,
I
that would be
do
cool.
I do know that the comics for GI Joe did lean more adult, and then
Yeah.
also I think they had some like one-off animated movies or animated OVAs, original
Right.
video animations, where it was more darker, people are getting killed off and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, one of my favorite comic book scenes ever is when you find out that they did a GI Joe Transformer crossover years ago. I don't remember which one, if it was IDW or Dynamite or one of the ones. I just know that at one point, Snake Eyes gets into a fight with somebody, and his face is like bleeding, like really bad, and he's like losing a lot of blood from like his face is all cut up so bad that he's like, I have to figure out a way to cauterize these wounds. And he says there's only two things that will heal wounds: time or fire. And he puts gunpowder on his face and lights his face on fire in the comic book. And I just remember reading that panel being like, oh, we in it now. Like Snake Eyes is this man burnt his face with gunpowder so that he could cauterize his face, and he just bandages his face and gets back into the fight. And I was like, we here. Like this is G.I. Joe. Like and if you can have a cartoon that has that kind of energy, I'm here for it. So I think
but also
cool.
G.I. Joe's a very tricky IP right now. You know, it's like,
is it?
Yeah, I mean, how are you gonna sell that to the rest of the world? It's basically
Damn,
exactly.
Why you gotta make such a valid point, Jaws?
But
about
I mean,
the military industrial complex.
They know. I mean, like G.I. Joe hasn't really worked movie form, and then the other version of G.I. Joe is Fast and the Furious. They're just doing a bunch of weird. Oh, now we were stealing stuff, and now we're just secret agents because it's just easier
Too
that
far.
way.
Too far.
Yes, what is this shaking of the head with Fast and Furious? Do these 10 movies not really connect with you on a
Oh please. Honestly, once Paul Walker died.
I know, facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's when it went downhill.
Yeah.
I want the street racing back. I want them stealing things.
See,
but
okay,
then
but-
again,
Yes,
wait,
please.
but then again, they took a Ferrero and flew it into space. I mean,
That's where I tapped out.
I
That's where I
mean,
tapped out.
I mean, the only thing they could do now is take a car, put it on top of a robot, and just walk it around.
Yeah,
I mean,
essentially
just
the
go all
next
the
step
way
is
with it.
Transformers.
That's
But
a perfect example of going too far with the
jumping
series.
the shark. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
too
flying
far.
car.
Yeah.
Too far.
Jumping the
See me
shark is
See me when they drove the car from one building into the other building? That was fine.
that was
They
was
got-
too far. You know
I
what,
got
guys?
too excited and just like went off the rails.
I'll say this, and I know my buddy's gonna be mad at me for saying it, but the moment they went off the rails was the same moment that they referenced in the latest movie, where they drove the safe around the city
Mhm.
and like essentially killed all those people. Because like you couldn't drive a safe around, pulling a safe around a city with those wires.
Mhm.
Guaranteed, you murdered people. Like the version of this,
For
that
sure.
they killed.
But they pretend. They pretend.
Yeah. But like the fact that kind of that instance is what led to Momoa's character and all this stuff, and the fact that they cut the movie with Momoa's character kind of showing up in the background, and you find out that he's the son, and that's why. And I just remember watching that and being like, yeah, so you guys decided to really double down on the moment you jumped the shark. Like you were like,
Yes.
this is a moment we went too far, and we're gonna double down by telling you everything that's happened after that, and all these problems we've had come back to the moment we jumped the shark. We're not gonna go back to Tokyo Drift or something earlier to be like, this is when we kind of were still grounded. No, the moment we gave up being connected and tethered to real
number
life.
4.
Yeah, number
Movie
4.
4.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
man.
that's the safe, right? The safe is in number 4.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
When they're in Brazil, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like
Yep.
that's to me that's the similar way of Endgame, where they're
Mhm.
just like, hey, Thor Dark World is legit, and this is why, because this has this thing in there, and how dare you say it's a bad movie?
I don't know. I Fast and Furious movies are fun, but like the jumping the shark stuff. I mean, at this point, you're watching it just for entertainment. You're not watching it for a serious like movie. And I
Yeah,
get that.
I mean, we know what we're getting into. We know Too
Yeah.
Fast, Too
It's a fun
Furious,
Sunday flick, I guess.
Fast
Yeah.
X.
But it stopped being fun when they went into space. It stopped.
I didn't want to
Stop
say it,
gotta
but
go
you
into
said it.
Space. We'll go to the last place that capitalism can't reach us. Space.
Literally.
Oh my god. That's
Shout out to my
crazy.
Command and Conquer fam.
I was just gonna
Shout out
say,
to Tim Curry. Yeah, there's
yeah, there's so many like actors that were in that. Continuing with awesome, crazy headlines that I saw this week as I was putting the list together. Miss Piggy movie in development with Cole Escola of Oh Mary's fame from Broadway as the writer, and Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone as producers.
Oh wow.
I never thought we would get a Miss Piggy movie because Miss Piggy kind of seemed mostly one-dimensional as a character in the Muppets lore. She kind of is abusive and
she's a woman of the 80s and she's not taking shit from anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Like shoulder pads, kung fu grip, and do what I say and do it now.
But who asked for this?
I mean, I would watch it. I'm not gonna lie.
I would watch it too. I would watch.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I wouldn't watch it.
My generation,
my
generation, like millennial kids and Gen X kids, 100% are the ones that this is geared for. Like Miss Piggy is,
because
I guess
when you watch that the Jason.
I guess I'm too young.
When you watch the Jason Segel reboot of Muppets, right?
Yeah.
And you know they literally disbanded. Everyone's doing their own thing and this, that, and the other. And it cuts to Miss Piggy. What is Miss Piggy doing? She's in France running France Vogue. Like Vogue in Paris. Like she is doing her own shit. She's fine. And she's like killing it.
I honestly, Ness, I know we always say who's asking for this, and I'm one of the worst with it because I'm always just like, we don't want this. This is one of those movies that I don't think anybody wants, but I would go like,
we would see. We're like, what's because there's going to be so many. There's going to be a ton of cameos. There's going to be a bunch of people in there.
Too many.
Like definitely be like, oh, I got my swag from you, Miss Piggy, or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, I get it. It's definitely a money grab. I think they know what they're doing. But it's just like,
and they're not doing anything with the Muppets right now. Like everyone's like, do something with the Muppets. Come on, like you own it. Like do something.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a bunch of Disney Plus stuff, but there's nothing big that they're doing.
I honestly that like weekly show, that sitcom that they tried to do where they were running.
I liked that show.
I liked it too. It was really good.
And you actually got.
I could never fall into Muppets.
Like,
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Well,
that's why they're making this though. It's a money grab and an attempt to get Gen Z into it. Like,
well, I also find like, you know, we like definitely Brian and I grew up on Sesame Street and stuff.
Yeah.
And now the newest.
I did too.
And so whenever this comes up, whenever Elmo is freaking out about Rocco comes up, like that feel is here. That
okay, it sounds more nostalgic more than anything.
Well, it's not. It's not nostalgic. It's just like, you know, when you have somebody that's just annoying you with this thing that they have, and you're like, that thing isn't real. It's a rock.
Yeah,
it can't eat. Why is it trying to eat my stuff? Like you feel Elmo. You really feel his rage and all that. Like. And like that keeps coming.
This is how
we keep getting pissed with people.
This is how you can make a Miss Piggy show. The fact that a rock can have a meme in 2020. That meme's been around for a couple years. The fact
it's a few years old.
That meme can exist in our world is significant to Henson stuff still meaning something to people. So I think Miss Piggy will do okay. But continuing, speaking of Cole Escola, the same from Oh Mary fame. They're going to be cast. They have been cast in One Piece, the live action One Piece season 3. They'll be playing Bon Clay, which I do not know who that is as a character because I have not watched One Piece. And I know there are people out there right now screaming at me being like, you bastard. But I would say that as someone who wants to learn more about this, please do not hate me. And
I think you can jump in on the live action show because I've heard people talk very positively about it.
I heard that too, but I haven't seen it yet. But I heard it was some people who don't like the animated series like that one more. For some reason.
I've tried to watch, like I've watched the live action. I watched season 1. I watched some of the episodes of season 1. I found it entertaining. And then I said to myself, you know what? Let me watch some of the animated show to see, like, get ahead and stuff. And I watched like 3 episodes and could not watch it. I just
okay, yeah.
Because remember the anime is old. Like in
is it that old?
I mean,
isn't it like 90s?
It
Let
could be
me do
late
a fact
90s
check.
or mid 2000s. Hold on a second.
The animation definitely looks older than the animation of other things now. I will admit to that because I'm watching.
99. It started.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
yeah.
when it.
So like it's a lot of
Yeah.
episodes you'd be watching to try to catch up. And
Oh, I
same with
That's
the
why I
manga.
couldn't do it. I couldn't like.
I mean, I knew I wasn't gonna catch up, but I didn't think the animation was 1999 animation. Like it looks more like old school French animation from when we were kids. Like when I
So
watched it, I was like, wow,
it
this
could
feels
have been in
old.
that era of when it was transitioning to digital, and it might
Oh,
look a little
maybe.
bit bad.
Mm.
And then as it continues on, the animation gets a little bit better to get more budget, et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, it is a lot of episodes. They gotta have to stretch and
Right.
catch up with the manga, or hold back a bit and put in a bunch of filler. So I'm sure there's like a watch list for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
anime
yeah.
that you just want to get to the point.
Yeah, that's true. I should look that up because I know the Dragon Ball Z Kai,
Yeah, that's like the
which is
cuts
like
cuts out the filler.
the filler. Yeah, exactly. So if I can find the One Piece version of that, I would watch.
Yeah,
that.
everyone told me to do that, but it's still a lot of
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
It's still a shit ton of
Even
episodes.
if it's
you have
not,
to be
yeah, because it's
dedicated.
1,000 episodes or something.
Yeah,
It's not for the week.
ridiculous. Because everyone's like, yeah, just don't watch the fillers. It's like it's still hundreds and hundreds of episodes.
Not for the week.
Like cut out the filler of 1,000. Even if you cut out 50%, that's still 500 episodes.
If you're lucky,
Yeah.
there could be people out there that do fan edits in the sense of let's cut this down. Let's
cut this whole arc into this.
Yeah, let's chop it up, make it smaller. Like I know some people have done that for Naruto.
Yeah, if someone could make fan edit movies of
like a
each
summary.
Arc, yeah, it's like each arc has a fan edit film summary. I would watch those.
But then you don't get the dialogue.
No, no, but I mean,
well, it depends.
You could still do the ones where they kind of cut it up. You know how, like, first of all, this is crazy, and I don't mean to divert this much, but Topher Grace supposedly re-edited the Star Wars 1, 2, and 3 into one film for fun. And just so that he could just have a shorter version of it. As like an experiment. And it's kind of something like that I'm talking about, where someone would just take, like, I don't know, every arc, and they'd go like, okay, well, these arcs, this arc is like 50 episodes. Can I turn it into, I don't know, 5 2-hour episodes? That's still a lot, but you know what I mean? Like
deal with it.
5 2-hour episodes is still
deal with it.
10 hours of content, but at least I'd get most of the story down.
Yeah.
Lord save us. But hey, I mean, this is a pretty big Cole Escola being tapped to write the Piggy movie, and then them being tapped to play Bon Clay in season 3 of One Piece, which again, as we're saying, is very popular IP. You know, we just saw the Japanese government talking about how important anime, manga, and all that stuff is to them culturally, and this show is kind of a big piece of that conversation. So, I mean, I know it's a lot of North Americans getting their hands in the pie, but still pretty cool. So, congrats to them. Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz, guys. I feel like this one's pretty big for the millennial kids, the Gen X.
Yes.
Okay. Even yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, good. Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz in talks to return for the new Mummy movie from Universal, with Radio Silence to direct. This is huge. I think we recently talked about the Tom Cruise Mummy film, where I never really hated on that. Like it's not the best, but it was also entertaining enough that I think the dark universe that they wanted to do over at Universal could have worked if they had actually tried. I know they were, they didn't want. Sorry,
I was gonna say they were trying. Like they did make video games. They did do a VR thing and all that kind of stuff. But it just
wasn't
kind of
the right way.
It was just Tom Cruise was too hands-on-y. Like you didn't know if his character was going to be the good guy, the bad guy. Was he supposed to be likable? Like it's kind of felt very muddled.
With Tom Cruise doesn't play villains. He did it like in Collateral. And
he was really good at it.
He was very good, but I don't think he likes.
He's not half-assed.
His ego is too big to be a villain,
right? And
he doesn't want to be hated.
I mean, if Tom Cruise really gave it a shot, he could play a villain and be beloved, because like the Joker is one of the most popular villain characters, and people always want to see the Joker.
That's true.
And
But I feel
think
like he's too. I don't know. I feel like Tom Cruise is too much like he wants to be the main guy all the time.
yeah,
you know?
he took over the production. That was the bad part. They got Orsi, I think, and Tom Cruise just kind of overrid him and kind of redirected the movie kind of thing. And it was just like, hey, I want to be in a scene where I'm just floating around in the air. Let's put that in the movie.
The plane,
it's like, why? Like, do we really need this?
We don't need to do stunts like this.
But
it's
no,
not Mission Impossible.
And he got it done. So
I know.
I think this is really cool because I was listening to I think I mentioned this podcast, the Dark Universe. Are You Afraid of the Dark Universe podcast? And they just recently rebranded to the Pod Universe, so they're just branching out to other stuff. And in their storyline, they kind of do something with the old mummy and stuff like that. So but their starting point is the Tom Cruise mummy, and then so anything that's built there, they have to kind of build off of that and do their own thing.
I was saying to my buddy earlier today, the Brendan Fraser Rachel Weisz mummy should have Tom Cruise as the mummy in it. Like,
but he's kind of a good guy at the end.
Right, but that's the thing. Make it that he's not a good guy. Like, I know we're talking about Tom Cruise's ego, so
that's interesting.
But I think if you want to kind of really capture a younger generation, Tom Cruise is still one of those people that people recognize. Brendan Fraser has his come up. He's
resurgence.
Resurgence, exactly. He has that film, the Japanese kind of surrogate
Rent a Family or something like that. People are already saying it's the best movie of the year, but that could just be marketing. But it's Brendan Fraser. We all love him.
But that's the thing. Brendan Fraser has so many of these films recently where he's kind of doing something different, like The Whale, and like he has these kind of like these art movies that have really
he's trying to like tap into drama more.
Yeah, and I feel like because he has the goodwill of that side, and the fact that there's a generation of us who really loved him in The Mummy, and him and Rachel Weisz were so good together. Put Tom Cruise in there, who's also a huge star. All of them are playing in the sandbox, no pun intended, and just they go crazy. And I think I would go see that. I mean, I'm going to see it without Tom Cruise, obviously, either way. But I feel like Tom Cruise adds an element that people would still quit.
Do you think he could do an ensemble, or he's going to have to be the main character again? Because again, I think we want to see Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. But if you add Tom Cruise in there, it's like, Tom Cruise, hey, how you doing? And
I was going to say, I think I'd rather without Tom Cruise.
Okay, but hear me out. Tom Cruise tries to, I know because we've seen this already in The Mummy, but Tom Cruise as the Mummy trying to woo Rachel Weisz. Tom Cruise can play debonair when he has to. Rachel Weisz kind of falling for this new modernized Mummy. Anyways, think about it. Get back to me.
That's
get back
funny.
to me.
I'm not sold.
That's
I know. I don't think about it though. Sleep on it at least.
That's part of the podcast I was listening to a little bit.
Oh yeah,
a little. It's not 100%, but it's like a little.
I've never even listened to that podcast.
So it's so good. I was just like, what's the next movie going to be? What's the next pitch going to be?
Awesome.
And it's just fun.
Okay,
it's definitely a fun listen.
Yeah, that's fun.
I'm down. Speaking of connecting with Gen Z, Gen Alpha, KPop Demon Hunter 2 release aim for 2029.
Not surprised. Wait, I know 2029.
2029 it says. I mean, don't forget that's the same team that was supposed to be working on Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So this was a project they did in between, and they didn't Sony didn't expect it to do well. So Sony
but I mean,
people don't like K-pop.
By the time the second one comes around, everyone's gonna forget that movie.
Do you think? I was wondering that too, because
it's like 3 years from now.
Yeah,
but I mean, as long as you got K-pop going, as long as you got like other K-drama
but it was
shows.
So hot recently because it blew up. Yeah. So it would have made sense like a year max 2, but like 3 years.
But okay, hear this out. If you were to do this, I'm gonna ask you kind of one of those Soul Gem. In the Endgame movie, Soul Gem, where you have to sacrifice for something. Are you willing to sacrifice the Spider-Man movie for K-pop Demon Hunter? Oh shit! I said that fast. I didn't even finish. But the only reason I say that is because in my mind, either Sony hires more people to work on both, or they let the team be who they are and they go back and forth. And
I would say let the team be who they are, and then make another big banger hits K-pop songs, because I feel like the song that I've noticed just kind of filtering in, like I didn't watch the movie, I didn't look up the movie or anything. The one that filters in constantly is Soda Pop. So they need another little earworm like Soda Pop. Yeah.
I thought Golden would be the one, but okay.
So that's the one I've been noticing, because people take that and then put like other like IP characters dancing to it and stuff, and just other random ass nonsense. But that's the one that just floats in. That's just getting past my radar.
I gotta say, so I know the person who coined the term Gen Alpha is trying for some reason to bump up Gen Beta to earlier. I don't know why. I don't believe in that whatsoever. It would be the first time that a generation starts so short. Like all the other generations are 12, 13, 15 years. That's like, and then this generation would be like less than like maybe 12, which would be the second time it's been that short.
Remember, just making up things. Remember that.
Yeah, I know, exactly. So the reason I say that is because 2029 is when, in my head, Gen Beta actually begins. So I kind of like the idea that KPop Demon Hunter launches off the Gen Beta babies. Like they're going to be coming out, having parties,
K-pop was always here.
K-pop. They're born into a world where K-pop is so popular, they have sequels to the stuff in Western culture.
Remember back in the day, we're like, oh yeah, Britney Spears and Janet Jackson forever, and then before that, it was Madonna forever, and then before that, Judy Garland forever.
That's wild. Continuing with Netflix news, this one's actually a little depressing to see. I was a little sad to see this headline when it came across. Stranger Things, Millie Bobby Brown has filed harassment and bullying claims against her co-star David Harbour. I'm really sad to see that because, I mean, David Harbour plays her dad, so the idea that he was bullying her,
is so strange to me. I'm like,
weird.
what?
Why are you bullying a child?
Super strange.
It's
super strange.
Very disappointed to see that. I was very sad to see that David Harbour was doing this. I know when the headline originally came out, most people thought it was, unfortunately, like they thought it was SA. Because people see harassment and were already jumping to conclusions, especially because Harbour had other not accusations, but him and his wife Lily Allen, they're now broken up.
Yep.
And at first it had come across that he had been cheating, but then they found out they were in an open relationship, and it wasn't cheating. It was that he exceeded the limitations of their relationship. Was the official last statement on it. Which for people who are in open relationships, the usually there's a lot of communication in the relationship, and people set boundaries. And if you step outside of those boundaries, that's when you've gone too far.
Becomes a problem, yeah.
Very much so, yeah. So it's really sad that Harbour let a person like Lily Allen is such a fantastic artist and beautiful soul and just an attractive person in general. So it's just like, dude, what you messed up there. And then on top of that, to find out that you're bullying the girl who plays your daughter, your adopted daughter, on a TV show, the TV show that made you famous. Very weird. Very weird. I don't understand it. Don't get it. I don't get it. But we'll see. I want to apologize. I didn't see that in the chat. We have a whole bunch of people jumping in. So Lee J, I want to say shout outs to Lee J. I want to say shout outs to Mark. I want to say shout outs to Elisa.
Elisa. Ali.
Elisa. Ali. I'm just gonna say Alicia.
That's Greg's sister.
I know. I know. I called her Alicia the first at the party, and then everyone laughed at me.
I forgot about that.
So I'm gonna say what up, Alicia, and look into camera and know that I'm a fool for it. But thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all. I didn't see the comments. I do want to apologize. So shout outs to all you guys. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you jumping on and being part of the show. And Brian, I should be watching a One Piece at 5 times speed is what was marked here by Mark. Mark said I should be watching at 5 speed. I don't know if I could do 5x. The fastest I've ever watched something was 2.75. And I was watching a video about sneakers. And and it was very, those sneakers when you were a kid, you used to see them, the ones that had the big round disc at the front for the toes. And they were designed to help make you jump higher.
That was on the what was it called again? Seinfeld.
Yes, they did an episode of Seinfeld with it.
Yeah, and he was just jumping around, and everyone thought he was a special needs person, giving him money and everything.
But I watched a video about those shoes where someone explains why those shoes actually work. If you properly wear them and train with them, you will get higher jumps out of it because it helps train your calves. It's like how
it wasn't just a gimmick, though.
No, it's not a gimmick. It's like when women wear heels and have stronger calves because of walking at that angle.
So is that the same concept for like Nike Shocks?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, but it's like
it's supposed to make you jump higher.
It trains your leg when you're on those platforms to like be able to lean forward. And anyways, the video was super interesting. And I watched it at 2.75, and it was one of the first times I watched a video like that. And as it seems, I did retain something. So maybe one.
Brian over here looking like the Maxwell cassette tape guy, blown away, watching it 2 times speed.
I do want to be that guy. 2 more pieces of news before we head into reviews and stuff. The Motion Picture Association is telling Meta Platforms Incorporated to back off their rating system. I know we mentioned recently that Meta is now introducing Instagram teen accounts. The Instagram teen accounts are supposedly PG-13. PG-13, PGG, all those ratings are registered by the MPA. They're registered in the 80s, and they are official ratings. You can't just use them without permission. And Facebook started using them. Meta, I should say, started using them with Instagram without permission. A lot of people were already saying, where are you getting the rating system from? Why are you using this rating system? I think I even mentioned on the pod. One of the other crazy things, though, is the MPA is specifically asking them to stop because I think this makes sense. If Meta's PG-13 actually worked and was actually PG-13, they wouldn't mind. But Meta is using AI to filter the PG-13 content. So some of the content is still explicit and it's still getting through, and it doesn't align with their idea of PG-13, which is why there was such a backlash. And they are now serving them papers to tell them, legal papers to tell them.
Surprise.
Yeah, true. What do you mean Meta's not doing something proper? Of course. What?
His mama named him Facebook. I'm gonna call him Facebook.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
To be honest, it's Meta's dad.
Yeah,
Meta changed his name, so I guess that joke doesn't work. But you know what I mean.
Yeah. And then the last piece of news I have is something I just discovered today, and I feel applies to a lot of nerds out there, a lot of geeks out there who would appreciate it. Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk of
Firefly.
Firefly. Thank you very much. I was going to say Serenity, which was the film, not the
same
TV show.
Same.
Yeah, that's the name of the ship.
We'd all know what you're talking about, and we'd all weep silently for its demise. I think it's also the name of the comic book series, right? That takes place afterwards.
Yes, they did.
So you would be fine, man.
I know.
I don't think it would be like.
I had a brain fart where my brain was just like Firefly, Serenity, for sure. Anyways, Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk have launched a podcast together called Once We Were Spacemen, which is a series that is going to be kind of them not replaying, but they were talking about the fact that when they're at conventions together, people always say that the kind of conversations and friendship that they have would be perfect for a podcast. So they said, hey, you know what? Let's actually make a podcast out of it. So here we are. The podcast actually launched. Sorry.
I'm a leaf in the wind.
Yeah, exactly. One of my favorite lines. I actually was wishing that was the name of the podcast because they were talking about a bunch of different names. And then the reason they picked Once We Were Spacemen is the idea that they're going to have people come on to talk about other things that they've done. So it's going to be like Once We Were Spacemen, Once We Were Pirates, Once We Were so on.
Yeah, I think it works better than just that one line.
I know, but that line's so beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. but all that to say, the podcast came out on November 5th. It started on November 5th. If you guys want to check it out, and if you want to get advanced episodes, you can sign up for their Patreon. Not that this is an ad, but it's just if you're a geek and those two mean as much as they mean to most of us geeks out there, then I would think you'd want to check out their podcast. I'm going to say the first episode's a little slow, but you can tell that they're getting their bearings because it's like trying to recreate the magic you have when you do live events when it's just two of you and there's no audience. I think Nathan even says at one point, the thing that feels really different about this is that there's not a crowd of people laughing at us. And I was just like, yeah, buddy. Yeah, this is going to be a lot different doing a podcast version. I was hoping Skinny would jump on, but I feel like we should still talk about it a little bit. I wrote it down on the list real quick. Hip hop wasn't on the Billboard Hot 100 for 2 weeks. And the internet lost
recently?
its goddamn mind. Yeah.
That's scary.
Oh, really?
So for the first time since like the 90s, no hip hop was on the Hot 100 in the top 40.
Interesting.
In the top 40 for 2 weeks. So the week that just started, Megan Thee Stallion ended up back on the list. So that added hip hop back. But for the 2 weeks prior to that, there was no hip hop, and people really lost their minds. Like people were reacting like, I heard people saying,
interesting.
MAGA's winning. This is what MAGA wants. I heard people saying hip hop is dead. I heard people saying a lot. I heard people say a lot of stupidness. I would like to point out that the same 2 weeks though, R&B was heavy on those charts.
Yeah,
R&B was in the top 10.
So, a lot of people combine hip hop and R&B, which is like not a thing, but people do that.
And I probably should.
I blame Timberland. Putting them R&B R&B beats into my hippity hop.
And I know I'm doing the wrong thing by bringing up R&B in this moment, but the only reason I'm doing it is because some of the conversation around the hip hop not being in Billboard for 2 weeks, or it not being in Billboard that initial week, was kind of a sense people were having of like, they're coming for black music. Like that was some of the conversation. And I feel like that's unfair because R&B was on the charts.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And
Kalani was on the chart. Olivia Dean was on the
chart.
Kalani's
killing it right now. She's back.
She's fantastic. Every time she puts
I mean, she never left, but I say she's back
yeah.
because her music had a transition.
Right. Leon Thomas III was on the list. Like all of these people were on the list.
He's good, yeah.
Really good. And people were acting like, oh my God, no hip hop. What does this mean? Where's Drake? Where's Kendrick? And I was just like,
I mean, I do think though hip hop is like in a weird place right now.
Yeah.
So that's probably why.
I was going to say, I kind of feel like hip hop's in that rock and roll phase where you're kind of feeling it not fading away, but it's like, well, what's the next
changing
new thing? What's the new, we had trap, and then what's the next new thing?
Yeah, because when Drake or Kendrick or J. Cole, like when they don't have music releasing, it's like crickets.
And that's the thing. There are other artists releasing. Yeah. It's just they're not charting as high.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, they're not as big.
Right, and that's fine. But the fact that, because again, it's not like hip hop wasn't on the Hot 100. It just wasn't in the top 40.
Right.
Which, by the way, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Stop using stop using Billboard as a measurement for good music.
Exactly.
Billboard is a mess. Billboard's a mess, y'all. They have they have songs on that
it's
chart.
Based on what's popular, but like
but also they leave things on that chart for like 100 weeks. Nothing should be on the chart for 100 weeks. There's stuff on the there's stuff on the Billboard Hot 100 and there's stuff on the Billboard 200, which is the album list, that have been on the list for like 2 years, and that's ridiculous to me.
Okay, that's weird.
There's enough music out there that nothing should be on those lists for that long, and the fact that they are, whatever their metric is that allows these songs to stay on the charts forever, seems like total BS to me. Like you're not making a good reflection of music if you're just like, well, this is charting. Okay. So this is charting. Okay. And now because it's charting, you're playing it on the top 40 radio more, and it's on social media platforms more. and then it continues to chart. So it just becomes a perpetual charting machine. Because once it gets high enough, it'll just keep charting because it's playing in the top 40 and people hearing it all the time. And then people are playing it and people are putting it on playlists. Spotify has it on playlists, Amazon playlists, Apple playlists. Okay, well, now it's still in the top 40. And it's just like, the f out of here. Like, can we please move on from these songs? So I don't respect Billboard and their system.
Tired of seeing Taylor Swift at the top.
Facts.
But people don't like her album.
And it's still
really?
And it's still number one,
there's so much discourse about her album, but yeah, it's still making money. It's still making money.
It's still number one. And people are saying they don't like it, but it's because it's playing everywhere.
But then there's so much album variants, and people are going out to buy those album variants, and then gotta get the CD, gotta get the vinyl, get the So
meanwhile, a young artist who doesn't have as much money and doesn't have a machine behind them like her doesn't get to do 10 different variants and doesn't have fans that can afford to buy 10 different variants, and they won't chart anywhere near as high. So the chart doesn't mean anything if you can just buy your way into the top, which I've said it on the show. I've spoken to people. I work in music, and I've sat across from people who told me $200,000 will get you a number one in the radio business because that's how much it costs to get a consultant to work your album for you and to push it to the top.
A&R. What was the other one? Street Team. What was the other one?
It's similar in the movie industry too.
Is it? Is that a thing in movie? Because I don't know.
You just have to know the right people, and if you have money.
Oh damn! Really?
Yeah, your stuff can get pushed. It doesn't mean it's going to be successful, but like, if you get your work in the right hands.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew the film industry was probably like that, but I didn't think it was like the music industry. To me, feels completely corrupt, whereas the movie industry I felt was a little cleaner.
Well, I mean, it's probably not as bad, but it's still there's still like
the turnover is also not as high. So yeah. Crazy.
Fortunately.
Okay, we got to talk about it. Our boy was in Chi-Town. I was told by my friend from Chicago who just visited not to call it Chirac. She said specifically, please don't call it that. We hate it. Shout out to Yoli. Hung out with Yoli last week. She literally said, y'all need to stop calling it Chirac. I was so happy
on you.
Yeah, I was so happy. I was just like, yo. And
it's like, no, stop.
No. Yeah, it's embarrassing. And I was like, all right. But while she was here, we sent someone else down there. Jaws, hit us.
Me. Yeah, I was down there for TFCon Chicago 2025. But it takes place in Rosemont, which is like right next to the airport, O'Hare Airport. Okay. So I'm not in like Chicago, really.
Like Dorval to Montreal.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So I'm not really looking at Chicago, but it was still really fun. It was really busy. It took place over, let me just double get the notes here.
I have to go to Chicago because even when Yoli was saying, she's just like,
same.
I didn't realize Chicago gets as cold as Montreal. Like,
yeah, it's a windy city.
Yeah, I mean, I keep hearing that expression, but wind don't have to be cold. Wind doesn't automatically mean cold to me.
Hey, I'll just point this out to you. I was watching something, and a German guy said, "Oh, I came to Canada, and I saw it said minus 35, and then with wind chill minus 55. What the heck is wind chill? The heck is wind chill? I just wear my German stuff. I'm gonna wear my German stuff. Go outside. 5 minutes later, coming right back in. Oh, that's what wind chill is. Ugh,
yeah.
So, I mean, wind is cold.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, don't mess around with wind. I'm just gonna say it like that.
But yeah, Chicago. I mean,
yeah. So it took place on October 24th to 26th, so 2 weeks ago, and there was a bunch of different guests there. The big guests were Arthur Bernhardt, who's the voice of G1 Devastator and original voice of Destro in the G.I. Joe cartoon show.
I just got a Destro action figure. I won't get it, but I literally just got one. So that's awesome.
And then there was Charlie Adler, who voiced Starscream in Transformers 2027. So the Michael Bay one, Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon, and also a few other things. But like Charlie Adler, you know, if you were watching a lot of cartoons in the 90s. So like Buster Bunny from Tiny Toons Adventures. Was it T-Bone from SWAT Cats, Cow from Cow and Chicken, and the red guy from Cow and Chicken. So like all these other cartoons. Just going through here, who else I want to shout out? I want to shout out Michael Dobson. Want to shout out Xavier Paul Cadeau as well. And one of the people I got to see was Anne Bryant, who is the composer of the G1 theme. She also composed the music for Jem and the Holograms, the Inhumans, Visionaries, and she also did the intro song for or composed the intro song for the G.I. Joe movie, the animated movie. So that big crazy one where the intro is like they're fighting at the I guess it's bicentennial at the Lady Liberty, and Cobra comes in and fights G.I. Joe, and it's all this craziness going on and stuff.
Oh yes, I remember that.
So now. So she also composed that. Vince DiCola was there, who was the composer for the 1986 Transformers movie. He also composed the music for Rocky IV as well. And fun fact, I found out that he wrote the music for the song Dare, one of my favorite songs from that soundtrack. Bob Budiansky was there, Jim Sorensen, just so much people. So just like it was really fun, very overwhelming. A lot of people dressed up in costumes and everything because there's a costume showcase and stuff like that. A very big attendance that happened on the Saturday. We had to there's people that had to be turned away and then come back.
Wow.
And then maybe 10 minutes later, okay, no, we could start letting people come back in again. So it was really crazy. A lot of good guests, a lot of good panels. Vince DiCola and Anne Bryant did a panel together. So these two people, so she's mostly on the East Coast in New York. He's on the West Coast in LA. They've heard about each other, and it's probably one of the first times they got to meet each other face to face. And
in the Midwest, no less.
Yeah, just come to the middle.
yeah, I was gonna say.
And their panel was really, from what I've heard, their panel was really cool because she was talking about stuff that she worked on and how she worked on it. When I got to talk to her, she said she has a PhD because she's doing animation and she's composing music because 24 frames per second. There's a lot of math in that. So people at her table that was coming out there's a lot of math people, a lot of mathematicians like, oh my God, I didn't know. And they're just talking math.
That's so interesting because she has to like time the music based on like the frame rates.
Yes.
So that it hits with the
exactly.
My God.
So
that is crazy.
So what we take for granted for beat drops and stuff like that, like she has to do it like
I always thought they just showed her the animated thing and then she composed, but I guess there's like a process in which she's doing it simultaneously. Like,
yeah, so I know for the theme for Generation 1, Transformers, Robots in Disguise. So she said that when she was writing it, there was a part in the notes that said, hey, this section is going to be talked. This section is going to be narrated. But she added that into the music because she kind of like glanced at it really quickly. I'm like, oh, Autobots wage their battle to destroy it. So she put that into the music and she wasn't supposed to, but it worked and people still play it and keep it going and all that kind of stuff.
Because
so I thought
there's supposed to be like a narrator.
It's supposed to be a narrator over that, but she just added it.
Wrote it into the music. Holy shit, that's so cool. Yeah, sorry. This is when you know you're a music nerd, where it's just like you're describing 8-bit 24 like kind of frame, like that kind of music production sounds insane to have to like plan out and but that's really fucking cool.
And just talking about minor keys and lower keys and stuff for kids. Oh, kids won't be able to remember this, and then kids did totally remember it.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. It was really fun. A lot of great people there. Seeing some old friends I hadn't seen in a while and stuff like that. And yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy, and a lot of people talking about this and that, and a lot of like just. It's one of those things where, you don't have someone that comes to that show often, or this their first time being at the show. And I always say like, that's a time for us nerds to kind of fill up their Wikipedia page with the new information that we get from them.
Cool, man. That is awesome, dude. Yeah. I got to make it out to one of those festivals or those conventions, I should say, soon. Cause you every time you talk them up and it always sounds like a blast. And I'm always just like, I got to get to one of these. Ness, did you have anything you wanted that you got to see? You covered any films or anything like that recently?
No, not in the last week. I've been pretty busy.
Yeah, it's been
I'm trying to
hectic.
think if there's anything I've watched.
I have some stuff because you guys know I love me a good time loop movie.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
there was a weekend where I was home and I had some stuff I had to do. So while I was like cleaning up and stuff, I was gonna play these movies as background movies, and then ended up deciding like, oh wait, I actually kind of want to watch these. So I watched 2 time loop movies this weekend. Actually, I watched 3. I forgot one of them was a time loop movie because it's structured a little differently. I watched Premature, which is American Pie meets Groundhog Day.
Oh, I feel like I heard of this.
Yeah, Premature is actually pretty funny. The story is that this kid wakes up having had a wet dream, and his mom literally walks into the room. The movie literally starts with his mom opening the door, and you just see him in his like light gray underwear with a big dark stain in the middle, which is very traumatizing for a first scene. I gotta tell you, like when it was playing, I was just like, "Oh God, not what I wanted to see right away." But the movie starts with that, and then like in the first loop, he goes about his day. He's trying to get into Georgetown because that's where his parents went. He like gets sprayed with like a water gun full of urine. Like he has like a really crazy weird day. But then this girl that he's tutoring, who's like the hottest girl in school, tells him, "Hey, I want you to come over and tutor me. I have an exam tomorrow." He already has plans with his best friend, this other girl, and they're supposed to watch a spelling bee together. And he ditches her so that he can go hook up with the hot girl from school that he's tutoring. And as soon as she starts performing certain acts with her hands on his Johnson, he wakes up again in his bedroom covered in his morning wet dream, and his mom walks in, and the loop starts every time he ejaculates. Essentially, is
that's interesting.
Yeah, so every time, so there are times in the movie where he wants to get out of a situation, so he starts touching himself.
My God!
To try and get the day to loop.
Goodness, this sounds very American Pie.
Yeah,
it's just the original name for Edge of Tomorrow. Hi-yo!
But yeah, Premature was kind of a crazy one. Premature was actually really funny. I didn't expect to like it, but I was like, this is actually really good. The other one I watched was The Present. It stars Isla Fisher and what's his name? Greg Kinnear? Is that his name? I always forget this actor's name. I think it's Greg Kinnear. You know how some of them, no offense to these guys from a certain era, but they all look the same? Like the guy from Twin Peaks, and like there's like 3 actors or 4 actors.
McLaughlin.
Yeah, like there's 4 actors from that era that I'm like, you guys are the same guy. You don't even look alike, but I just kind of lump you together. But yeah, Greg Kinnear and Isla Fisher are a family. The whole story is that the family is going to break up. They get a clock delivered to the house. It's the grandfather clock, the dad's grandfather's clock, and a grandfather clock. And their son with autism fixes the clock, and you find out that the clock can go back 12 hours. So the movie starts where the son with autism is already in his 23rd loop. Because he's already done. He's been trying to fix it so the parents don't break up, and he's been doing it over and over. And he's nonverbal, so it's like the way you find out what he's doing is he has an Etch-a-Sketch where he's drawing out the like what the parents do and how he's trying to manipulate it so that they don't break up. And the way he communicates with the family is he uses like a voice to like a text to voice that is Barack Obama's voice, which is pretty funny. So there's just moments where you hear Barack Obama's voice being like, "Teddy, I need you to come to the basement," and you're like, "What the hell is happening?" Fun movie. Isla Fisher is pretty good in it, and Greg Kinnear is like a dorky dad, which is funny because I just watched him in the show You be like a psychotic dad. So it was very, very weird juxtaposition for me because I never watched him. I don't watch him in a lot of stuff, but I just watched him in You be like a really cold, calculating asshole. And then to see him play like a goofy dad literally in a movie right after was very weird, but fun and entertaining. And then the last movie, real quick, Jagged Mind. I would recommend people check this one out. It is very dark. I'll read the line for you. When Billy finds herself reliving different versions of the same first date, she just must break out of a series of loops created by her manipulative ex-girlfriend. Yeah, this one's weird. I will tell you, I almost don't want to spoil it, but I'll tell you this. It's a white girl using voodoo magic, and that is a very weird.
Oh no!
But
I don't like this.
I know. I understand. I'm with you, because when I figured out that it was a white girl using voodoo, I was just like, I'm not down with this. But when you find out how she learned about the voodoo magic, you're just like, okay, this is messy, but I'll let you finish. I'll let the movie finish, and I understand. Shannon Woodward and Macy Richardson Sellers are the lead characters in it. They're really good. And I don't know if you guys remember Jimmy Jean-Louis, who was he was the Haitian in the show Heroes, the guy that used to wipe people's minds. No,
a little, yeah. A little.
But yeah, he plays like a I guess the magical Negro of the story, because he for some reason the loops are happening, but he seems to be aware of the loops, whereas everyone else, only the person creating the loops is aware.
Like
no
he
one
can
else is.
see it.
Yeah, so he's
Janessa. He has like visions
in true magical Negro way. He's a blind black voodoo like shop owner, and he sees the girl who's being looped. Like he knows that she's being looped, and he sees her, and he's trying to tell her in Creole, like like he keeps yelling at her in Creole, but she doesn't understand. She doesn't understand, so she's freaked out because there's just a blind Haitian man screaming at her in Creole. So
that's hilarious.
Is she white? She white?
No, she's the black girl.
Oh, why?
Yeah. No, but I mean,
no. I get it. Like I get it.
A blind person, like yelling at you in the street that of any race.
Yeah.
Anyone, you know what? Anyone yelling at you of any race, it's gonna, in a language you don't speak, is gonna freak you out. So
yeah.
I kind of understood why her character Billy was just kind of like jogging, and then this guy's like, and she's like, what the fuck? And she turns around and runs the other way. Oh yeah, he was yelling "changer" because he's trying to tell her like you need to change, but again, she doesn't speak French or Creole, so she was just like, I don't know what that is. Like when the person explains it to her later, and she's like, this is what he was yelling at. She literally said, I didn't know what he was saying. And I was like, that's pretty funny that we acknowledge that part.
Yeah, that's jokes.
You know me, I love time loop movies. So again, Jagged Mind, which is this one with a Macy Richardson Seller and Shannon Woodward, is good. Isla Fisher and Greg Kinnear in the present, and then Premature. Premature doesn't have anyone I recognize, is the thing. Like they're all relative unknowns. Again, American Pie style. Like, oh, sorry, that's not true. Alan Tudyk is in it. He plays the recruiter from Georgetown who is trying to, that the guy has the interview with in every loop, and in every loop, him and Tudyk have a weird interaction.
Okay.
But yeah, those are my time loop movies. Jaws, you also, I see here on the list, got some Pokemon Legends Z to A, which I feel is backwards, but I imagine there's a reason.
Yeah. Also, just to go back to TFCon, another person I got to talk to that was there was Joseph Kerr, who's one of the writers for Transformers Prime, but his list of stuff he's worked on is also Justice League, The Batman, Brave and the Bold, and something I kept bothering him about, which was Mutant League.
Okay.
Super obscure. But yes, Pokemon A to Z. It's the newest Pokemon game, Pokemon Legends.
Wait, is it A to Z? Because you wrote Z.
ZA. Sorry, ZA.
Okay,
it's ZA.
ZA. So Pokemon Legends ZA. It's a spin-off of the mainline games where they do a little bit more different stuff, different gameplay. This one takes place in a city called Luminous, which is modeled after Paris. and I think the original games X and Y, no, X and Y takes place in that same area, so that's why it's called Z to A. So it's kind of
Okay.
harkening back to that game, and so this is a new one. So far I'm not that deep into it. I'm not that far into it, but it's still I find it's fun. But then again, I like playing. I could have fun playing a game that's a 7 out of 10, 6
Right.
out of 10. You know, just like how people like watching B movies and
Right.
being like,
Right.
"Oh,
Right.
this was fun and entertaining." So this one, I know this. There's a lot of controversy behind it because people, it's not as high production as the mainline games, and you know, you're still paying $70 for it. It's also a game that's on transitional hardware as well, so it'll look a little bit better on the Switch 2 that came out, but I'm playing on a Switch 1 and I'm just still playing it and not really like looking at the frame rate. Is like I'm not
Oh.
bothered by low frame
Right.
rate
Right.
stuff.
Like instead of 60, it's 30.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Or you'll notice a slowdown, like someone will be running, or you'll be doing a lot of stuff going on, or there'll be a lot of stuff going on the screen, and it'll be like a slowdown happening.
Oh, okay.
It
Okay.
like your game will chug a little bit. But so far I'm enjoying it. I do like, you know, if you're not feeling it, then I'm sure, like, you know, don't buy it. Like really really get that point across to the Pokemon company that, hey, this is subpar, don't like it. The big difference with this one is that it's more real time. The Pokemon can hurt your character, so like when the
Oh.
fight happens, you and your opponent are in the fight and you're moving around trying not to get hit by the Pokemon's attacks and stuff, and your Pokemon can do their attacks, and there's like a cooldown. So instead of a turn-based system, it's a action. Like you're in the thick of it. It's happening right here, right now. And every time you do a move, there's a cooldown, and then you have to wait to come back to do your next move. Someone could, like, you could do a projectile, and then that person could move somewhere else, and then you've missed. So you have to try to,
Oh.
you know, do
You really have to be like time it out.
either time it out or stun them in some way, or make sure they don't
Oh.
move, and then hit them with the projectile and stuff like that. So
Okay.
it's a very different battle system, and I do kind of find that there isn't a lot to do in this city kind of thing. But I mean, I'm sure as like play along, more things will unlock and everything like that. There's a day and night cycle. There's a ranking system. So in order to fight stronger Pokemon, fight better people, you have to rank up in that leveling system and stuff like
Oh,
that.
cool.
And yeah, so that's pretty much it. I do like the interactions of the characters. There's a very controversial thing where one of the characters, the person that recruits you into this team, she's the cook, and what she tends to do is you know, mash up food together. So one of the things
Oh.
she makes is curry croissants.
Oh.
And
Ah.
there's a person from Loop that's born and raised in Luminous. He's like, I am not eating that. I am so offended that you did this.
A curry croissant.
So it's like a mound of
What?
curry. It's very weird. It's like a big, like, not a big tower of curry, but like, you know, a mound of curry, and then there's like 2 or 3 croissants like laid around it.
Oh. All right. I want to answer Mike's comments. Hey, have you guys ever seen CBC show Being Erica? They do time loop stuff in there. Sorry, I'm late to the party. I actually haven't watched that show. I have heard about it.
That sounds super familiar.
Yeah, I watched the other time loop show with the guy from Suits. So CBC had a time loop show.
Being Erica does sound familiar though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember the name of the one I was watching, because I guess it's not technically a time loop show. Oh yeah, Plan B. The show's called Plan B, and it's I guess it's a time loop, but it's not really. What it is they don't really explain it, but there's a company that has the ability to send you back in time. They charge you on your credit card. So you like have to give your credit card. They send you back. You pick the date, and then you're not allowed to go back until you catch up to the day you left from. So it's not as much a time loop because it's not like you looping, but it's you literally going back and reliving and being able to make different decisions. So because it doesn't like, and if you decide not to loop again, you would just continue to live your life. There's a version of the show. There's 3 seasons of the show. In season 1, it stars dude from Suits, what's his name, Patrick J. Adams, and in season 2 it's a black woman. In season 3 it's a white woman, and every version is like, essentially people are just making crazy decisions. Like it's really, really sad. Like the 3rd season has what I think is one of the saddest stories, because like the mom goes back in time to protect her daughter because her daughter gets assaulted by her boyfriend.
Ooh.
Not sexual assaulted, but like physically assaulted by her boyfriend. And the mom is just like, why is my daughter letting this guy do this to her? And then you find like the daughter ends up sadly being suicidal, and
no.
Yeah. So the mom goes back in time and is trying to stop the daughter from like taking her life. But like, don't forget, like she knows that her daughter's taking her life. So she's now gone back in time and is like with her daughter, and she's being so intense with her daughter, and the daughter doesn't understand why she's acting like this. And then the show ends. And do you guys mind if I spoil it?
No.
No,
you don't mind? Okay, the show ends. The daughter now travels back in time, and you find out the daughter traveled back in time because the mom ends up getting cancer and dying. So the mom traveled back in time, saves the daughter's life. The daughter grows up, but the mom dies of cancer. And the daughter is just like, no, the only reason we didn't catch this is because you weren't taking care of yourself because you were focused on us. So the daughter goes,
so
no,
sad.
Yeah, this time I'm going back to save you. But I guess it's actually a good ending because the mom doesn't die, because the daughter goes back
and saves her?
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, you don't
So
find
they
out.
both. Oh, okay.
It ends with you knowing that the daughter came back, and the daughter tells her, I came back. I was 21. Everything you did worked. I became very successful. I became a chef. I lived my life. I fell in love. I did all these things. I have a wonderful life. And the only thing that was missing was you. And the mom's just like, you can't come back. Like, what if you change things? And she's just like, it doesn't matter. It wasn't worth it without you. So she comes back to save her mom. Yeah, it's actually very, very sad. Like, it's like I was watching it and I was just like, I'm okay.
Yeah, the way like
no.
just like the first part of it, I was like, oh, this sounds really rough to watch.
You're like, I'm okay.
I'm
not okay.
Yeah. But it's good. And this is the thing, like CBC has these types of shows that I feel like people, because it's a Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, it's just like, what do they know? Like, guys, I'm telling you, Plan B.
No, we have some decent
Plan
stuff.
B is really good. Yeah, they have really good stuff. So if you guys are looking for a good show, CBC Gem, you can watch Plan B. All 3 seasons, if I'm not mistaken, are up there. And season 1 has my girl Karine Vanez. Oh, my God. I won't talk about Karine because we might have a premature situation. No, I'm joking. All right. That's the whole show.
That's terrible. That's just terrible.
Full circle jokes. Guys, that's the whole show. If anything you guys want to tell the people, anything you guys want to update the people about before we head out?
I would say check out the Transformers Slag podcast and the Toyamata podcast with Aaron Archer on YouTube.
Perfect.
And check out I Love LA. I'm gonna watch the first episode actually.
Yeah.
I watched it already.
Don't talk about it. Wait till next week.
I got comments.
Wait till next week.
I didn't know that but not a spoiler. The black girl is Forrest Whitaker's daughter in real life, which was cool to find out.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
She likes she is a nepo baby, and she's just like, I am. I don't care. And like that's just kind of
she
in
owns
real
it.
life. It's funny.
That's how you should be.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Doesn't guarantee that you're gonna make it or not.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about it next week.
Bong. Yeah.
I didn't have time this week, but I'm watching it tonight or tomorrow. So.
Yeah, and the second episode is probably out this Sunday, so we'll have 2 episodes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool.
Guys, that's the whole show. I want to thank you guys for tuning into another edition of GeekCypha. We always appreciate you guys being a part of the show. A big shout out to everybody who was in the comments this week. So shout out to Alicia, Lee Mike, Mark, and everyone who tunes in and is supporting the show. We very much appreciate you guys. We'll be back with another one soon. We are out. Peace, everybody.
Peace.
Later, y'all.